Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lana and welcome to another book haul. So first of all, I want to start with the books that were sent to me by Kieran very kindly. Check out his channel, I'm gonna link it below. I talked more in depth about these in a vlog that I did. I'm gonna link that one below as well, so I'm not going to go too much into them. So here I have Anton Chekhov's Gooseberries. This is a collection of 3 stories of the Black Penguin classic. I have Franny and Zoe, a classic that I've been meaning to read, which I know nothing about, but I'm very excited to finally get to it. Then I have Max Porter, The Death of Francis Bacon, a book that Kieran hated so much he had to get rid of it and he gave it to me. I can't wait to see what my thoughts on it will be. Then Conference at Cold Comfort Farms by Stella Gibbons. This is the sort of sequel to Cold Comfort Farm, which is a classic which I've not read or heard of before I got this book. So I'm excited to see if Stella Gibbons is someone whose writing I will get along with. And yeah, excited for this one. And the last one is A Visit from the Goon Squad by Jennifer Egan. This won the Pulitzer Prize for fiction in 2011, and I only ever read one other book by Jennifer Egan years ago and I hated it, so I'm very curious to see if I will feel differently about this one. Next, the lovely Tara North sent me her copy of Ikigai, the Japanese secret to a long and happy life. She mentioned it in one of her videos. I added it to my TBR and talked about it, and she sent me her copy. How kind is that? And it says, Ikigai urges individuals to simplify their lives by pursuing what sparks joy for them. Much in the same way, the life-changing magic of tidying up, a book I love, emphasizes choosing what we want to keep and not what we want to get rid of. Ikigai demonstrates that aging could be an opportunity to keep working, keep smiling, keep active, and keep being social. I am so into this and it really it matches my vibe today. Next I got Persuasion by Jane Austen. I bought this when Amrita announced that she was doing a sort of body read, book club read, and she was hosting a discussion and I bought it, but the book got to me like 3 days after the discussion. But I am still very excited to reread it. I've been meaning to reread all Jane Austen novels. I read them all when I was like 13 or 14. I remember loving them, all except Mansfield Park. I remember really not being into that book, but every other one I love. I want to revisit them and see if I feel differently about them, if maybe I notice things that I've never noticed before. I wonder how much of what I remember the books being is true to what's on the page and how much of that is just my imagination running wild. Next, I have 2 books that technically belong to my sister. She bought it for herself. She was looking for her next read, and I mentioned that these 2 were highly recommended by booktubers, and she listened to my advice and bought both of them. So I have If I Never Met You by Vari McFarlane. This is a contemporary romance novel. I'm pretty sure this has a fake dating trope. I talked about this book in my February finds video, so I'm gonna link that one below as well. My sister just finished it. She didn't love it. So I don't know how I feel about it. From what I've heard booktubers mention about this book, it seems like something I would enjoy. I don't know. And the next book I have is The 13th Tale by Diane Satterfield. I'm pretty sure the first time I heard about this book was from Jean Bookish Thoughts, one of her videos, and since then I've seen it mentioned many times by many other booktubers, and I'm very excited to get to it. It says, a riveting, multi-layered mystery that twists and turns and weaves a quite magical spell. Margaret Lee is investigating Angel Field's house, which stands abandoned and forgotten, and the mystery of the March family that used to live in that mansion starts to unravel. What has the house been hiding? What is its connection with the enigmatic author Vida Winter? I'm pretty sure Margaret is trying to write a biography of Vida Winter I'm not sure, but I'm excited. Next, I picked up a book I will be reading this month for the readathon I'm doing, March of the Moderns, Death on the Nile by Agatha Christie. Should I say more? It's one of the Poirot mysteries, and there's a movie that was supposed to come out last year, but it's now coming out this year. But when is it coming out? No one really knows. I've been meaning to read this before the movie comes out, so I'm very glad I finally have it in my hands, and this month I will definitely read it. And this will be my second Agatha Christie ever. What? So next I have two classics. One I've been meaning to pick up, especially after seeing this beautiful edition. I always struggle saying the Russian names out loud because I'm trying to make them more like English sounding. So like in Russian I would just say Alexander Pushkin. In English, I would try to be like Alexander Pushkin, so you will understand. In Russian, the name in the title is Yevgeny Onegin. In English, it's pronounced as Eugene Onegin, and it's a very short book written in verse. And I don't know if it's different now, but when I was in school, we all had to read it and we all memorized a part of it. One of the main characters is Tatiana, and she at a certain point in the story writes a letter to Eugene. All the girls had to memorize that letter and recite it in class. I don't remember what the boys were supposed to do because it wasn't my concern. And you know, it's a classic. It's something that it's such a part of, I feel like, our culture here in Russia, and I remember very little of it. I want to reread it and to remember why it's so beloved. I also have a different connection to this story because in my last semester in acting school, I had to perform a classical piece each semester, meaning like aria song. From what I remember, in the first 3 semesters, you're not really allowed to go beyond songs written in English, Italian, and French. Maybe German, I don't remember, but definitely not in Russian. And in my last semester, I went to my vocal teacher and I said, I want to sing in Russian because partly I want to understand that when I change the language, everything else that we've been training and we've been doing stays the same, that it will not change just because I'm changing the language. And she said, yeah, go choose whatever you want. And I went on this like rabbit hole on YouTube looking through like different famous Russian arias from operas, and I ended up choosing the song that Tatiana sings in the ladder scene. So again, the ladder scene comes back to haunt me. And the opera of Eugene Onegin was written by Tchaikovsky, which is one of my favorite composers ever, and it's such a beautiful piece and I love it so much. And sometimes I like to sing it to myself when I wash the dishes because, you know, it's very high when you wash the dishes, it doesn't sound as loud. So yes, I'm excited to go back into it. I would tell you what it's about. I don't remember very well. I know that the main character Eugene is young and rich and spoiled, and I'm pretty sure Tatiana like falls in love with him and confesses her love, and he's like, no thank you, and life makes him regret it or something. I don't remember. It's definitely like a YA. And the last book I was so excited to pick up is The Razor's Edge by Somerset Maugham. I picked this up because I will need it in a future video that I am planning. It won't happen in March. Not sure if it will happen in April. We'll see if it'll happen by the end of the year. But for that video, I needed this book and I've been looking for it. Somehow Somerset Maugham books were not easily found in Moscow. I mean, there's Theater and The Painted Veil that I see everywhere, even The Moon and Sixpence, but not so much anything else. And even those books are not in the prettiest editions. And if I am investing my money in a classic, I would like it to be pretty, because with classics you have options. And I saw this, someone was selling their copy for very cheap and I went and grabbed it. When talking about Somerset Maugham, the first thought I have is I love his book Theater, But truth be told, I'm not sure I read theater. I definitely saw 1 or 2 film adaptations which I really enjoyed, so I may have not read the book theater, but I love it. But I did read The Painted Veil in university for English, and I really enjoyed that one as well. I really like his writing style. And even this book, I was flipping through it, and here's how this book starts. I have never begun a novel with more misgiving. If I call it a novel, it is only because I don't know what else to call it. I have little story to tell, and I end neither with a death nor a marriage. I mean, what a start. Anyway, as usual, I don't plan on buying any more books in the near future, but who knows what will happen. I feel like, to be honest, I feel like I've accumulated enough, so I don't feel the need for more. You know, there are so many here that I'm excited about, and I really don't plan on buying more books before April. It's not a promise though. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you read any of these, if you're especially excited for me to get to 1 or several of these, and I will see you in my next video.